What am I doing, I hear you ask? I'm doing Gen 2. Who against? MegaKeldeo. Team, this will be my team. I'm just double checking it because I want to make sure it's all cool. I'm running some Pokemon I never run before, but what the hell, Keldeo, pretty stand up guy. I mean, he crazy, but he cool. He hasn't played for a very long time. Like the guy retired for a while. He just he came into Pokemon and then he met all these cool YouTubers and then he just retired because he was done. He was like, I'm done, and they just fucked off. But now he's back and he's versing me, and I'm just like, alright, cool. I want to try some things, he wants to try some things, so we both bring our teams, and then this is how it goes. I decide to kiss his Suicune because I'm homo and I do that sort of shit. So then his Suicune's like asleep, and I know for now his Suicune is a rest talker, and I'm just like, okay, well, thank you for telling me this much. He goes for the Ice Beam, so now I know he's a double attacker. I highly doubt his Ice Beam is his only attack, so I'm just like, alright, well, I'm just gonna sit in here feeling quite horny, and I'm gonna set up spikes, because that's what I do. He brings Zapdos in, and I can't remember a time when no one actually pranked Zapdos or some form of electric type. He goes for the healing power. I'm not too sure why, because I had a Cloyster in and now I have a Snorlax in, so it was like a weird option. My Snorlax is very odd. I carry an odd set because just before the battle I changed it. I used to run Lovely Kiss as my 4th move, but I changed Lovely Kiss to Sleep Talk, and then before the match I changed Sleep Talk to Belly Drum. I don't know why. Alright, so don't ask me. Don't do it. Just don't. Machamp comes in, and that just annoys me because these days everyone's running Machamp. I swear to God, my last Wi-Fi battles have just always been a Machamp, and they just fucking annoy me because they're always critting the shit out of me. Fuck's sake. This Machamp tries to crit me and I'm just like, no, I'm not having none of that. Here I'm just like, okay, well, that Zapdos is coming in because you know I'm going to use Earthquake. So I go for the Ice Beam and he decided to stay in, so I'm just like, alright, fine, but this crit just makes me feel a lot better in life. He goes for Earthquake and that does quite the damage. I don't like that, so I was going to switch out here, but I now thought technically Nidoking is my lead and I don't really have a purpose for it. I'm not too sure, like right now I don't see it doing much. I went for the Earthquake, but this is one of those turns they actually did go into Zapdos, and that just annoys me when you predict it the first time and they don't do it, and they do it the second time just to piss you off, and I'm just like, oh fuck's sake, I'm gonna punch you in your left nipple. I don't know what you think you're playing at. And he's switching all over the place here, and he brings this Machamp in on my Snorlax, and now he's just got full momentum over me, and he's I can't even keep up with this guy. He's just switching all over the place. So now I'm just like, okay, if that's how you want to play, predicting my switches and double switching and all that shit, let's do this. You want to up your game, I'll up my game. I bring Donphin in here, and Donphin will take a Rock Slide. So now I'm just waiting here for my time. I'm just like, okay, alright, well, in case you try any other shit, I'm gonna go into Nidoking right now, just in case you do decide to switch out, because I'm hoping you're switching out. I'm gonna go into Nidoking, and then I'm gonna see what this guy wants to do, just scouting around. He goes for the Rock Slide again, so I'm just like, okay, fine, I see what you're doing here. I think maybe he's predicting the Zapdos. I don't know what he's actually predicting. I was gonna go for the Earthquake, but then I thought, I have a feeling right now if I save Nidoking he'll come useful later, so I will probably save it. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put Donphin back in because Donphin is just pro. Unlike Steelix and Skarmory, he just defeats things better, only having one type in. So Donphin is in here, and I know for a fact he's gonna switch out. This turn he's going to do what he did the last turn, and he knows I'm going to use Earthquake this turn. So he goes into Suicune, but I don't like it, so I go for the Roar, and I bring the Heracross in. Now this is the part where I can actually try something here, because the reason I bring this Donphin is because it runs Encore, and what fucking Donphin runs Encore? It's just absolutely hilarious. It doesn't even have the hands to clap. I go for the Encore because I know whatever attack he locks me into I can play around it. I lock him into Earthquake, so now here's where I start to gain the momentum. I know he's going for the Earthquake, and he probably thinks I'm going for the Earthquake. So I actually predicted a switch here, and my senses told me he'll bring the Zapdos in, so I double switched into Snorlax, so now I've got the upper hand. And instead of setting up a curse this time, I went for Double Edge, predicting the Machamp to come in. Now he stayed in, so I'm like, oh, alright, well, I'm not too sure what to do now. Usually Zapdos is never stay in, so I'm like, okay, now he's gonna switch out, because there's no way in hell he's gonna let his Zapdos die. No one lets something like Zapdos die this early. I go for a Double Edge again, and he stayed in. I'm like, no way. Oh, he's dicking me about. Alright, this turn I'm going for the rest, because he's either gonna switch out, curse, sorry. He's either gonna switch out or he's gonna rest. I go for the curse, and he stayed in. I was like, the best thing he could have done, because I mean, he could have switched out and tried to crit me, but now I'm at a range where I can't really do much other than attack. And if I attack, I'm going to be in so low health after this. But if I rest, I've screwed myself, because he can not only save his Zapdos, but he can bring that Machamp in as well. He will like switch out, and then he'll have both, and then I'll have a stupid sleeping Snorlax, which is useless because I took off Sleep Talk. I wish I didn't take off Sleep Talk, but I did. So I got to play accordingly to that. I killed his Zapdos, which is very odd, because I don't think that would happen so early. And now he brings this thing in, and because he brought it in, I was just like, no, you're not having my Snorlax. I know I can't do much with it, but you're not having it, just because of that performance. He goes for the Rock Slide. Maybe he thought mine would come in, my Zapdos, but whatever. I'm just like, you know what, fine, now I'm going to start Earthquake spamming you, because you have no Zapdos, and I can just Earthquake spam. He goes for the Cross Chop, and he's just not dealing enough damage to me. I'm just owning with the wall in. Donphan is so underrated. And then he's just like, man, I don't think I'll be able to kill you. You're not taking damage. I'm like, have faith, Keldeo. You will. And then he does this, and then I'm just like, ah, shit, I shouldn't have said anything. All right, well, I'm just like, fuck, that's great. I put this thing in, and this is another thing I changed the moveset on, because my original moveset was Growth, Psychic, Bat and Pass, and the last move was actually Morning Sun, but before the game I changed Morning Sun to Reflect. So I was testing Reflect, but I advise you don't use it. Just run Morning Sun, because Reflect gets you nowhere. I did pull off a Growth, and I'm just going to Bat and Pass that Growth into Zapdos, and he rushed in with this Dark type, and I fucking hate Dark types in Gen 2. But he attempted to pursue, and that failed, because he probably forgot Espeon has Bat and Pass. So now +1 Zapdos, that's something you really don't want to get in the way of. I pull off a Thunder, and I deal quite the amount of damage. I mean, he just got his ass handed to him. And he got paralyzed, so that's quite funny. He does go for the Fire Blast, and I don't know what is up with these fire types lately. Every fire type I'm versing in Gen 2, Fire Blast just deals a shit ton of damage. I just do not like it. So now I'm at a stage where I did go for the rest, because I do not trust the next Thunder. I really don't trust it. This is one of those times you might actually want Thunderbolt, which is actually quite funny to say. But I didn't trust Zapdos, and I'm gonna go ahead and rest. Now all I have to do is Sleep Talk and Thunder, and I'm pretty good. Go for the Sleep Talk, and then for some reason he goes for the Hidden Power Ice, which is just like, I don't know what he's trying to pull off here, but fuck him. Fire Blast takes shit ton of damage once again, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is getting longer than I expected it. So I go for the Sleep Talk with my hopes here. I'm gonna Sleep Talk something good, and I Sleep Talk the rest, which is like, oh well, this just got even longer. He goes for the Fire Blast again, and he just doesn't seem to be missing, and I'm just taking more damage than I want to be taking. And then I go for the Sleep Talk again, and I'm just like, come on Thunder, come on Thunder, come on Thunder. Why am I stalling so much right now? This is the problem with Sleep Talk. So he gets paralyzed this turn, and I'm just like, actually, you know what, that actually turned out well, because if I can pull off a Thunder right now, this has just worked out in my favor so much. I used Rest again, and he gets paralyzed again, and I'm just like, Zapdos, you're actually starting to irritate my tits right now. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I'm looking good, and I did feel bad for all that hacks. I'm that kind of guy. I feel bad when when I hack too much or people misclick and all that shit. So I'm like, do you know what? I think maybe the Zapdos has done what he's gonna do now. I think I can use the rest of my team. So I'm gonna keep the Zapdos in pretty much until death, because he's just resting up and he's not really doing much for me. And plus, the +1, I want to make the use of that. So this guy goes for the Psychic and gets a ridiculous crit right here. I mean, I guess that was fair. I think he got me back. Alakazam lives, and I'm just like, fuck, that's no good for me. I go for the Hidden Power, and he goes for the Psychic, and he does kill me. And just to show a damage calc, I think I could have lived a Psychic, but I didn't live it. So I thought, alright, cool, I'm gonna revenge kill it with this thing. And I think it's because I've never come against the Alakazam in Gen 2 that I completely had no idea that this Alakazam was gonna outspeed me. So I pretty much sacked my Zapdos for no reason, because at this point I was like, fuck, what did I just do? And then he recovers and I'm like, oh my god, what did I just do to myself? Psychic is not as powerful as it is in Gen 1, so I'm going to start growthing up, because I'm gonna fuck myself. I didn't bring the Morning Sun, which is just even more of a piss take, because if I'm going to play Reflect, I have to play it really right at the correct time. I set up a special attack, he paralyzes me, and this is not good. This is the worst thing I could have done to myself. I have gone ahead and dug myself in a huge hole, because now I'm going to set up another Reflect, and he's pretty much back at full HP, and I get paralyzed, and I miss a go. And Keldeo here, he's not easing up on me. I kind of guessed he was going to switch here, and I did not do anything about it when I should have. And then he brings the Heracross in, and the game just lagged. And I set up a growth. I didn't attack, I didn't set up a Reflect, I growthed. And I was like, fuck, Mega Horn is going to destroy me, and I'm not left with much right now. I'm so fucked. He goes for the Mega Horn, and at this point I misclicked, but the misclick actually paid out in my favor, so I was actually quite happy here, because I did go for the explosion, but it was so laggy that I couldn't see what I clicked. But to be honest, I was trying to go for the explosion, so it's a misclick that actually wasn't really a misclick. I can't really explain it, right? Shut up. He goes for the Mega Horn, and I explode, and I take out the Heracross, and that helps so much, because if I didn't take out this Heracross, I think that was it. I think that was a good game, because I have nothing else for it. So now my team is just not looking good. And he brings, I think, the Alakazam, Machamp actually, brings the Machamp. I think he thought he could do something, but sadly he's not one of those payback sets, because they don't get it in this gen. I go for Psychic, because I know he's going to die. I think at this point he just leaves it in, because if I did put Nidoking in or whatever, I think he would have lived. But with this, he goes for the Earthquake. Espeon actually walled that quite badly. I didn't bother with Reflect and all that shit, because he has no more physical attackers. His last two Pokemon are special attackers. So Alakazam comes in, and now this is the part I wish I had Morning Sun, because unlike Alakazam, I can boost my special. So Espeon pretty much has to win the game for me at this point, because my other two Pokemon are too small in HP. They're both dead. There's no point trying to even play them. I set up a growth, and he reveals his last move is Fire Punch, and as annoying as that is, I just have to deal with it. So I go for the Psychic, and I'm just not doing enough. And I did get a special defense drop, so I got my hopes up here. I thought, yes, I wish I fucking had Morning Sun right now. I should have just kept it. I don't know why I bothered changing these things. Oh, I lived that one, and then I'm just like, Psychic, come on, do something good, and then I don't, and I'm like, fuck. I'm pretty sure, I'll show another calc here. I'm not sure if I can live a fire. I don't know what that is. Some red writing keeps jumping up on my screen. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I could have lived that Fire Punch, but I died to it, and now this is what I'm left with. I'm like, fuck, fuck, fuck. Snorlax comes in, recovers with the leftovers a little bit. I'm screwed here. I'm already saying good game to him. I said good game, Keldeo. I'm going to show a calc for Psychic. I am deaf from Psychic at this point. I switched Nidoking in to take a Psychic. He was very confused on this play, but this was the play of the century, guys. This is how you make a comeback. Looking at my HP right now and looking at the damage calc, I can now live a Psychic because of Gen 2 mechanics. And that's how you make a comeback. That right there is a perfect example of a comeback. because I thought I was fucked and I had no idea what to do, and I pretty much threw in flag. But then I remembered Gen 2 mechanics. When that Snorlax came in and took the leftover recovery, I was like, oh my god, thank you Gen 2. I put the Nidoking King in as their father. Fuck off Red Writing, I swear to god. I don't know what I keep saying, but it's annoying me. I sacked the Nidoking King and then I rang the Snorlax back in, he took the leftovers, and then the Snorlax is now back in the game. His last two Pokemon are both special attackers, so Snorlax has pretty much won this at this point. There's nothing they can do. I did wish I left the Sleep Talk though. I advise you do leave Sleep Talk on. I don't know why I'm running two setups like Curse and Belly Drum. I just really like the idea of it. But he's not getting any progress right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and kill it before he starts to get any special defense drops. So yeah, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I was quite happy with that play. I just thought that was just pro play of the century. That's like 5-star playing right there. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this thing, and at this point, I mean, Sleep Talk would have helped me a lot, because I could have, instead of stalling and waiting for some sort of special defense drop, I could have Sleep Talked. But you know what, I thought here, I'm gonna go ahead and rest, because I want to try a Belly Drum finish, and this game did go on for a very long time. It was like an hour long, so I thought no more mucking around. Basically, I can't be asked to keep stalling. So I'm just going to go for a Belly Drum, and I'm just going to go for one double edge and see what happens. If I die from the recoil, I die, because I don't really want to keep resting without Sleep Talk. He Sleep Talked rest, and I wasted turn, so we're both now on the same sleep count. We're both going to wake up at the same time. He Sleep Talk rest again, that's fine with me, because now we're both like, you know, that's quite unfortunate, because if he was Sleep Talking some attacks, I think he could have won here. He goes for the Surf, because he asked me if he was going to wake up, and I was like, yep, this is the time we both wake up. I go for the Belly Drum, because Belly Drum's rather broken in this gen, but who cares. My attack is now maximized. I'm at 200 here, and I'm just like, fuck this, I'm going for the fuck off Red Writing. I go for the double edge, and he gets the Surf obviously, and then I'm just like living on like 104, I think it was. I go for the double edge, and I think because I take out 100% of his health, I lose 100 of mine. I don't know. All I know is I lived on 4 HP and I won that shit. So yeah.